I'm so excited to introduce some old friends, Nate Greklek, Andy Guelcher, and for the first time ever to the automotive industry, we present to you, I feel like I need to present, the one and only Jesse Cole. How are you?
What an intro. Thank you, guys.
You know, the only reason it wasn't better is because if we stand up, the cameras will be out of focus.
That's right.
So
You don't have autofocus on your cameras? What's going on here?
I don't think the TD can hear you. Just kidding. he's smiling over there. We're a little goofy. We've been in these chairs for 3 hours now.
Yeah, we're hanging out. I'm getting a little squirmy.
Which
Let's
is perfect.
go.
We felt like we could hear you. Okay, so we have represented. Actually, this is your segment.
Let's go. Hey, so what we're talking about with this segment is experience, and not the experience of time, but the experience of customer experience and the way that you engage your community. And we could think of none better than the team at Mohawk and that social media team and what Andy has given them the capacity for, and definitely what Jesse has done with the Savannah Bananas after taking that over. You know, Paul, a few weeks ago, you bought a hat, right?
I did.
From Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, let me tell that story quick.
Using
Cryptocurrency, using Bitcoin. This is a fun story. I shared it with Jesse. He smiled. He's like, that was just a test, right? So I wanted to buy, of course, a flat brim. I needed my Savannah Bananas hat. It was out of stock at the moment. I got an email saying it's back in. I was like, all right, well, it's time to buy it. Buy it, and it was like, pay with crypto. I was like, pay with
Let's go.
Let's click that, right? And then it was like, oh, I could pay with Bitcoin. And then went through a little process, and it was as you would expect, right? It's not instant because it's Bitcoin. Had a little bit of jankiness in there, but I emailed someone on your team. They emailed me right back. He's like, let's forget about the jankiness. Let's just make sure it chips because you just bought a hat with cryptocurrency on our website. So,
and if you didn't recognize at this point, like, we're not talking about a crypto company, we're not talking about anything like that. What we're talking about is a minor league baseball team. So Jesse, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming, man.
Fired up to be with you. I'm glad that actually worked. We were just trying to put that on there. Would anybody buy in Bitcoin? And you actually did.
Was I the only one? Was I the only one?
I don't know. We're very fortunate. You know, after the first shipment of T-shirts came in a few years ago, and bananas was misspelled. We had too many N's in it. Now we're fortunate. We're doing hundreds of orders a day. So I'm not sure if there's been others from our team, but I know I heard about yours. So I'm glad it went through.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Awesome. And so you guys know as well, we are minting the very first retail automotive NFT from this event. So let's make sure we're going to give you a POAP so you can have a token memorialized on the Ethereum blockchain, proof that you were a part of the first one in retail automotive ever. Jesse, let's just give you like 2 minutes because people are probably like, who's the dude in the yellow hat, unless they've seen you on LinkedIn or ESPN or all those things. Give us a couple of minutes on why you're dressed like that and what you're doing and why your stadium is sold out multiple years in a row.
Well, thanks, Paul. I stumbled into the baseball business. I started with a team in Gastonia, and it's only 200 fans coming to the games and $268 in the bank account, and realized that baseball was too long, too slow, too boring for too many people. So we had to change it. So I read everything on P.T. Barnum, Walt Disney, and said, you know, what if our players did choreographed dances? What if we had grandma beauty pageants? You know, what if we made it a circus? And that's what we did. In 10 years, I learned in Gastonia and then started it in Savannah, Georgia, with a brand new team. We became the Savannah Bananas. At first, locally, we were crucified. People said the owner should be thrown out of town. You guys are an embarrassment to the city. You'll never sell a ticket. But fortunately, you know, people appreciated the Banana Nanas, our senior citizen dance team, and our Banana Nanas, our male cheerleading team, and our mascot Split, and the Banana Baby we lift up before every game. And, you know, we went all in on the experience. And after only selling a handful of tickets to start, you know, we've been fortunate to sell out every single game. And, you know, the wait list is, you know, creeping up to 14,000 now for tickets, and the season sells out a year in advance. And now we're taking the show on the road. So my wife and I are sleeping on a real bed now, and, you know, we're obsessed with a fanatic experience. You know, our name of our business is Fans First. Our next book coming out this spring is called Fans First. And, you know, whether it's a car dealership or any business, we just obsess over eliminating every part of friction and entertaining every step of the way. And been so fortunate that our fans have been enjoying it and watching the shenanigans and really coming out in full force for the last 6 years.
That's amazing. Yeah, I think that, you know, the reason why we wanted to have you on, and don't worry, Andy and Nathanael, will get to you in just a moment, but the reason why we wanted to have you on is because a lot of retail environments right now are looking at what does it take to engage customers in a way that we never have before, and especially retail automotive, where it's historically, and I don't know your experience with retail automotive, but historically, it's not like, hey, what do you want to do on a Saturday morning? Let's go to a car dealership, right? That's not. It's like maybe similar to what a lot of people felt about baseball, or still do about a 3-hour kind of like long process of seeing the pitcher go to the mound and back and forth and swinging to the fences. What would you say to the automotive dealers that are looking to have a differentiated experience over the next couple of years?
Sure. I think the starting point for us is we always say, what makes you different as a business? And whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. And I've had the fortune to work with a few car dealerships, do some workshops and keynote speaking. And, I remember one dealership I worked with, and I talk about the first E to creating raving fans, eliminate friction. And almost every single car dealership, people say, there's friction. And the car dealership I worked with, they started doing a campaign called Stop the Hate. And they got their whole team to come up with everything people hate about a car dealership and did the exact opposite. And so, for us, we reimagine the experience. When you come to a game, most times you pay ticket fees, you pay convenient fees, which are the most inconvenient fee in the world. We eliminated those. You come to our game and it's, you get greeted by our parking penguins, and then you get an all-inclusive experience. Every single ticket for the bananas, all your burgers, hot dogs, chicken sandwiches, soda, water, popcorn, dessert, everything for $20. So same thing about a car dealership. Think about what are those hidden fees, the negotiating back and forth, how you're greeted when you first walk in. And so we really try to map the experience from the first time people buy. And that's why every single person who buys a ticket or merchandise gets a thank you call from us, which is completely unscalable. And I have no idea how we're going to do that as we continue to grow. But it's those moments that matter. And we try to map that from the first impression to the last impression, which leaves a lasting impression.
I think that there's definitely going to be some synergy between the two gentlemen that you see on the other side of your Zoom screen. I don't know if you got to meet them, but we're talking about a dealership that fills cars with Easter eggs. One of the two guys on screen dresses up like an Easter bunny and has a killer Michael Jackson impersonation. I'll let you guess which one it is. But Nate and Andy, all right, secret's out. One of these two gentlemen on screen can give a high kick. They can kick the top of a door jamb. I'll let you guess which one that is. Time for you to raise your hand, Andy. And but the point being, Andy, you have empowered your team to really go out there and bring fun into the marketing, to say we're not going to spend a lot of money outside of our organic advertising, and instead we're going to have fun, focus on the customers, and really give them something to talk about, laugh about, and draw them into the store. So, Andy, why don't you tell us about why you decided to do that, and then we'll let Nathanael tell us a little bit about what antics are up your sleeve.
Definitely. Hey, thanks for having us, guys. It was interesting. We were talking with Jesse a little bit in the green room, and we were talking about that. Got into the experience and what we do for our people as it relates to enabling them to have and dump fuel on their own brand. I think that really starts with their self-confidence. You want to talk about experience and everything that the customer is going to feel. If you have people who have a high level of self-confidence and know that their dealership or business is behind them, promoting that brand and giving them resources, furthermore, to be able to really build that brand, I think that's super important. And we've gotten that done pretty good. We've got a long way to go with some of it, but so far so good, and it's really paid dividends in the community. People see that we're investing in our people, and that makes a big difference as far as wanting to transact with a business that really cares about that and shows that they do.
Yeah, we Paul and I we kind of asked each other a question. The question was, so what is the Mohawk brand? And we realized that the Mohawk brand is that everybody just wants to do business with them, right? That they're the good people in town. They're the fun people. They're the people that support their community. So Nate, maybe explain some of the things that you guys have been able to do, not just at the dealership, but actually within the community in enabling content or enabling like really cool stuff with community partners because of having that social media team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, our vision is to really inspire our community, inspire everyone who works for us, inspire our industry partners. And this is just one way, us making content every day, going out into the community, being able to showcase what we're actually doing in the community rather than just saying we're doing it. We are showing them, giving us a lot of social proof. But we also offer, photos and videos for our community that are around there. A lot of non-for-profits can't afford a high production team to come in and share their story. So we actually are allowed, because of the investment in the equipment, you can obviously see we have podcasting microphones. We have a full live setup here that most dealerships don't have, and that's for the investment of being able to have podcasts for our branding team, and having the right camera equipment to be able to showcase all the amazing employees that work here at Mohawk and what they do outside in the community. It's an integration between working and living, and it's your life is your life. You work and you're also a part of the community that you work in. So whether you're you're coaching your kids' basketball team, or you go every Sunday and you hand out cheeseburgers to those less fortunate because you never forgot where you came from, we are so grateful to have all of these employees here and to showcase them as a part of themselves, their brand. So it's just amazing to see what we're allowed to do, and showcase the amazing non-for-profits in the local area.
So, and Andy, like, just thinking about the way that your community is experiencing your brand prior to coming into contact, maybe in the showroom, what are you looking at in the showroom, especially to kind of like make that a seamless transition where the fun and the feeling on social media, or when your team is doing nonprofit work, or given that video capacity, or the social team is out there doing the community work, how is that translating in the showroom to a showroom experience or an online experience for you all?
So it's really important that, obviously that's going to be a source for people coming in, and we do want that to translate, and we do want to make sure that people are understanding who they're dealing with, and not everybody might have that same, aptitude with social and being able to use it as it relates to identifying what we're doing or who's doing, in the community. So when they do come in, we want to make sure that that experience is as easy as possible. And a lot of people talk about, Jesse mentioned frictionless, and, there's a lot of different acronyms or different buzzwords that you put around customer experience, but at the end of the day, experience is experience. And if you're focused on the customer and meeting their needs and doing what they want to do and how they want to do it, there's always a great marriage to be found, because retail is retail. It's certainly not rocket science. And if you're focused on what the customer needs, it's really going to make it easier for them, and ultimately make it easier for us and our team to continue to transact.
Okay, so I have some things cooking in my brain. I'm looking at the screen, and I'm seeing everybody here, and I'm looking at, like, not just the brain power, but the imagination power that's represented by the people on this Zoom call. And I think it would be an absolute tragedy if we don't leverage some of Jesse's imagination to come up with one of the most outrageous initiatives in retail automotive that we can while we're on the Zoom call, because I'm telling you, Jesse, the team on the other side of the screen is the one who will try it. So you just got back.
Wait, Jesse, can I jump in, Jesse, and just do the one that you inspired me to do in the green room?
Yeah, let's just go there.
Oh,
That's a lot of pressure.
See,
Of course,
Take all the pressure off, Jesse.
Okay, look, Danielle back here better be recording the green room.
We're going to give, and again, to Jesse's point, I don't know how this is scalable or how we're going to pull it off. We're going to give every customer a flower girl when they come into the dealership.
Oh, come on.
And that is just going to throw flowers down wherever they go. To the bathroom, they go into service, they come back to the desk, they go into test drive. I don't know how we're going to do that on the roads. We're going to have to figure that out. But we're going to give every customer a flower girl when they walk in the showroom. That was right out of Jesse's book.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's lights out. I mean, look, who wouldn't want to, like, walk down the aisle to their car with a flower girl? Like, the marriage, the match made in heaven of you walking in to your car, like getting, like, that relationship building element of having a flower girl. I cannot wait to see this.
So let me ask you this. How did that actually come up? What got you to the point where you're just thinking about ways that you can do things like this in the green room? Who started it?
Well, Andy, you said you saw that video of us doing that on TikTok, right?
Yeah, Jesse has a pretty robust social media presence.
He does.
And there was he had a batter come up to the plate, and he had a flower girl that led the batter up to the plate. It was fantastic. That's how it came up. So Jesse gets full credit for that, by the way.
Well, what's funny is you missed, and our videographer got distracted. The guy that went after it was her father, and he was the flower dude. And he did this whole thing getting over the top as a dude and started thrusting his hips on home plate, which was completely inappropriate. I'm glad we actually didn't film that one. So that inspired one other thing. But I will actually add one thing, Paul. You think about entrances, you think about fun ways. People walk into the store, the retail store. What is that like over the top moment? Like we plan WWE entrances, where our players come in and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan. We plan where our pep band introduces players. So if there's ways to make your customers feel like stars over the top with a flower girl, something like that's a moment they'll never forget, and they'll come home and say, "You wouldn't believe what happened at the dealership today."
And you know what else?
Marketing area.
You know what really caters to that? I love how you think about that because that's the memorable moment, right? The entrance, and then maybe one other point if it's really fantastic, but the entrance is something people remembers. In automotive, right, everyone loves driving the new car home, right? That's like you just did all the work. So you could really think about like an exit, like a dramatic exit with your new vehicle. I think that automotive is keyed up for, you just think it's usually a delivery area, right? Lights, smoke.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's the next level to like? There's so many dealerships that have done the gong thing, but that's been played. What's the next level of that?
Jesse, what is it?
So maybe it's been done, but our director of entertainment who came from the Las Vegas Golden Knights, he like convinced me. He's like, Jesse, we need cryogenics. I'm like, how expensive is it? He goes, no, we'll get a deal. He brought cryogenics, and 2 of these huge CO2 bombs go off when like things happen during the game, which people aren't expecting. Most times the fans just jump out of their seats confused. But imagine someone's buying a car and there's 2 cryojets and they go off and you get the picture, the video of them driving off with the cryo, and you send it to them that day.
Right.
Congrats.
Right.
And it's just, they seem like they're a superstar.
Give them the TikTok moment. Give them the moment they can post and be like, that's you in that car?
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Make them the rock star.
It's amazing. So Jesse, do you work with any car dealers for promotions in Savannah?
No, but that's also because of we eliminated all advertising from our stadium because we thought that was a great business move 2 weeks before the pandemic hit. That's a whole other story. But, no, we don't have any ads at our stadium. We do experiences. Okay. So we will be working on like picking up fans in the parking lot with special cars and ad experience, but we don't have any typical ad experiences. Okay. So that's so not right now. We have in the past, yes.
This is me. Can we get a tight shot? This is me not being surprised. You can't buy a yellow tuxedo. You can buy a yellow tuxedo.
Right.
But you can't buy that man in the yellow tuxedo.
Right.
Well, maybe
you can't buy him. And not just that, but
as I'm saying that, he's like, and we've been acquired.
No, but I would challenge a Savannah dealer or someone near Jesse to get super innovative about the collaboration and the partnership that might happen, to not just like slap an ad on a home run banner.
Doesn't work there.
That's not how that works. What if there's a Savannah dealer or a local Atlanta dealer that might actually get innovative enough to think outside the box in the way that Jesse might? I think you might actually get excited about that.
I don't think you need to challenge a dealer in Savannah, Georgia. I think you challenge all dealers throughout the nation to pair up with one of your local minor league baseball teams or one of the teams and create an experience during the baseball game. I don't think it has to be just with Savannah Bananas, but any local team that you have that you want to. I mean, we have an arena football team. There's got to be something we can do to pair up with them to create an experience, not just in advertising. So
let's go.
And I'm sorry, we're just taking over the show, Paul. Here's one idea too is we brought in a mobile car wash. And during the game, we pick one fan a night who has a dirty car, and we don't even tell them. And we get their whole car completely washed and have a sign, "Thanks for being with us. Hope you enjoyed your game," with our name in the car wash. And so, like, that's an unexpected moment. So it doesn't have to always be something. A car dealership can think creative on how to do something cool for one of their cars at a game without blatantly advertising, come support us. Just do something cool, and then people will want to support you.
So tell me this, Jesse. Is there a Mr. Beast collaboration in the works?
Yes.
I'm glad I know who I am. I'm not that old. This is good, but no, not at this point. But we do have some fun collaborations. Let's put it this way: we come up with 10 ideas every single day and have an idea palooza every Wednesday with our staff. So when you look at 3,000 plus ideas a year, there will be some that fail miserably, but there might be some that work out this year. So we're gonna have fun.
I love that.
Very good. That's awesome. Hey, maybe you need to have an idea palooza every single Wednesday in your dealership. There might be someone in your dealership that just has the thought that might take your dealership to the next level in 2022. I think so. Hey, we're gonna give you just 30 seconds each to just give your and we'll go Jesse, Andy, and then Nathanael. Just your encouragement to automotive retail dealers heading into 2022. 30 seconds on what you'd encourage them to press into.
I've talked about fun, and yes, we give away Porta Johns and colon cleansings and do all that crazy stuff. Don't jump in that way, car dealerships. But I'll go with something simple. Stop chasing customers, start creating fans. It's been our mindset since the beginning. The name of our company is Fans First Entertainment. Every decision we make is at Fans First. In the back of our Fans First playbook that we share with everybody on our staff, it says, be patient in what you want for yourself, but be impatient in how much you give to others. Amidst all this craziness, we have fun, but the secret is that, we try to go all in on creating fans, and that's made all the difference in the world.
Amazing. Thanks. Andy.
Yeah. Go all in on your people. It's something we've been talking about for decades in business, certainly, and something that we are very quick to complain about when we can't find good people, or this person doesn't do this or this person doesn't do that. But really, what investment are you making in your people, and are you really striving to build your team to become the best version of themselves? Because if you do that in all aspects of their life, not just in the dealership, but in the personal, you're going to get a very well-rounded team player who's going to be a contributor to the community, and that is going to make all the difference on your P&L. I know it's hard for a lot of people to do that because there's not a lot of correlations between treatment, and your profit and loss statement. But man, when you can really go all in on your team, invest in them, focus on getting them to become the best version of themselves, and then your actions really stand behind that, it is an absolute game changer. So I would encourage everyone to make their teams and their people the focus for next year.
Awesome. Nathanael, hit us with it.
I would encourage all dealerships to have at least one social media person, if not two. We found a lot of success in having one full-time, and I'm not talking about you bring them in for, 8 hours once a week. Have a full-time person on staff to be able to create content, deal with your people, and build the culture to create a better experience so people know what they're coming into before they even come into the dealership.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, hey, Jesse, Andy, Nathanael, thank you so much for joining us. This was a wildly fun session, and I got a ton of great ideas, and appreciate you guys coming on. Maybe there's a collaboration in some way happening in the works. So appreciate y'all.
Well, he said he's coming up to upstate sometime, so
there you go.
we're going to
You will let us know.
do something. I don't know.
Good. Well, happy holidays to you and to your families.
Flying through a B-52 skydive. I'm in.
A banana parachute.
Banana parachute.
Banana
into the
parachute.
dealership.
Done.
All right. Well, awesome.